Good day, everyone. So for today, I am going to discuss about chapter 4 of the book Principles of Teaching. The topic is different approaches and methods. Okay, so this is a continuation of the different approaches being discussed by the other presenters. So peer tutoring, or it is also sometimes called as peer teaching. Okay, it is a system of instruction in which learners help each other and learn themselves by learning. Okay, and it, according to Robert Thomas, it is the process by which a competent pupil with a minimal training and with teacher's guidance helps one or more students at the same grade level learn a simple skill or basic concept. So, although you allow more competent learners to help other learners, it is also important that the teacher should guide them. Okay? Now, there are five types of tutoring: the instructional, same age, monitoring, structural, and semi structured tutoring. Okay, so we will understand these types of peer teaching one by one. Okay, number one is the instructional tutoring. So it states here older students help younger ones on a one to one or one to a group basis. So as you notice in the definition, the older students help younger ones to learn. Why is this so? Okay, so simply put this way, older students are more experienced and has more knowledge compared to the younger ones. So, they can share this knowledge to the younger ones. And according to an article I've read in the Dole Academy, instructional tutoring follows a written, flexible plan. Okay, so the next type of tutoring is the same age tutoring. So it states here, uh, children of the same age, one better skilled than the other. This means that the more able ones will teach the less able ones. So they can read same articles and discuss together. In other words, a higher performing student is paired with a lower performing student. Next, monitoring tutoring. So here, the class is divided into groups and monitor tutor are assigned to lead each group. So if you divide the class into five groups, then there will be five monitor tutor to lead each group. So the advantage here could be this frees the teacher from whole class monitoring. Okay. Next is the structural tutoring. Okay. So there is a definite procedures to be followed, and it is administered only by trained tutors. Okay. Next is the semi-structured tutoring. Okay, so the combination of the unstructured and the structured, where the tutor guides his or her tutee through a carefully planned learning guide. So it is called semi-structured because a tutor can change or can modify the learning guide to fit the interest or needs of the tutee. Here are the instructional characteristics. Number one, the tutees receive individualized instruction. Number two, build rapport between the tutor and the tutee. Now, when we say rapport, it is building a friendly relationship with the tutor and the tutee. Okay? Next is discipline problems are lessened. Why? Because there are more assistants looking after small groups. So here are the guidelines in using peer tutoring. Number one, the teacher must go around and observe. And number two, confer with the tutor regarding the nature and the extent of assistance they are expected to provide. Now, when we say confer, you advise the tutee. Okay? Next is prepare instant evaluation by way of performance and oral responses as your feedback. Okay? So another approach is the partner learning. Okay? So as you can see in the picture, the two students are learning together. Partner learning means learning with partner. Okay? A learner will learn with a study buddy. Okay. So now we go to the next topic. We will see the difference between these terms, deductive and inductive. Deductive is a top down approach, whereas inductive is bottom up approach. Okay, so as you can see on this illustration, deductive is general to specific and inductive is specific to general. So deductive is from the theory, okay, to hypothesis, to observation and confirmation, from top to bottom. That is deductive. Now, on the other hand, inductive starts from the bottom up. Okay, so from observation to pattern to tentative hypothesis up to theory. Okay, binali siya. Okay, so to differentiate further, we have here the deductive method versus the inductive method. Now, when we say deductive method, it is a general rule to specific example, while the inductive method is from specific example to the general rule. In deductive method, it is more teacher centered, and in inductive method, it is less teacher centered. The deductive method is direct and inductive is inquiry method. Deductive is more on demonstration method of instruction, while inductive is problem solving method or the project method. We will know their advantages. Okay, deductive method. The advantage is we do not need to worry on what questions to ask to lead the learners to generalization. Okay, because you have started from generalization and then you chunk it down to a more specific ideas. And the advantage of inductive is the learners are more engaged in teaching learning process. And then learning becomes more interesting and it helps the development of the HOTS or the higher order thinking skills. Of course, there is a disadvantage. The disadvantage of deductive method is it is not supported of the principle that learning is an active process. Okay? And lesson appears uninteresting at first. And its disadvantage in inductive, it requires more time and so less subject matter will be covered. Okay, and it demands expert facilitation skills on the part of the teacher. Okay, so other approaches are blended learning, reflective, metacognitive, constructivist, integrated. Okay, we'll know this one by one. Okay, here in blended learning, so as you can see in the picture, plenty of learning models are combined. It is also called hybrid, mixed mode learning, or tech enhanced learning, the very popular nowadays as we can observe, the modular online and face-to-face learning. Okay, next is the reflective teaching. Okay, students, teachers learn through an analysis and evaluation of past experiences. So, when the teacher reflect about the learning progress and the strategies she's been using, she may realize and discover new approaches to be used to become more effective teacher. Okay, the guidelines for effective use of reflective teaching first is you have to allocate sufficient time for reflection. Of course, you need more time with this. Next, attend to feelings, especially the positive and the pleasant ones, and evaluate the experience in the light of the learner's intent. Okay, so these are the strategies of reflective teaching. We have here the self analysis, writing journals, keeping a portfolio. Now, self analysis, you become more aware of yourself. Okay, here in the self analysis, what strategy is effective, then you continue doing it. If the strategy is not effective, then you eliminate it. Next is the writing journals. This can help you track what needs to be enhanced. Third is keeping a portfolio. It is very personal document which accounts your experiences. Now, when you do reflective teaching, you have to ask these questions to yourself. Okay? Did I motivate my students enough? Or are the students learning? If so, why? If not, why? Okay. Am I relating the lesson to their knowledge and interest? And how good was my classroom management skill? So you can ask those questions as you reflect in yourselves. Okay, next is the metacognitive approach. It is the ability to think about your thinking. It is the ability to reflect on what you do. So, in here, students learn more effectively when they are aware on their learning of how they learn and to monitor and reflect. Next is the still in the metacognitive approach, and according to Linda Darling Hammond and colleagues in 2008, this is to promote learning. Teachers should do metacognitive and reflective teaching. Okay. Next is the constructivist approach. This is an active process that results from self constructed meaning. It is anchored on the belief that every individual construct and reconstruct meanings depending on the past experiences. So the past or the prior knowledge of students must be addressed since based on that a learner constructs new meaning or learning. Okay, now we go to the instructional characteristics. First, construct meaning on their own. Absorption of knowledge is somewhat personal and activity centered learning. Okay, now, why is this an activity centered learning? Because by doing the activity on their own, they can gain personal knowledge through active participation. Okay, so, guidelines for the effective use of constructivist approach. It encourages students to take initiative in learning, respect and accept the students' ideas. As a teacher, you have to. Why? Because those are based and are connected from their past experiences and knowledge. Okay? We have also the integrated approach. To integrate means to coordinate, blend, or bring together separate parts into a functioning, unified, and harmonious whole. Okay? Still in the integrated approach, according to McNeil 1985, curricular integration assist students to identify the links not only between ideas and processes within a single field, but also between ideas and processes in separate fields and in the world outside of school. So, he categorizes according to the three main types of curricular connections. Number one, within one subject alone, also sometimes also called as intra-discipline transdisciplinary approach. Second is between two or more subjects. This is called interdisciplinary approach. Third is beyond the subjects. That is also called transdisciplinary approach. Okay, let's discuss this one by one. First is the intradisciplinary approach or within subject area. So it involves an arrangement of the knowledge and skills within one subject area. It respects the subject's way of knowing distinct conceptual structures and methods of inquiry. Example of this. AP or Araling Panlipunan teachers integrate history, geography, geography, sociology, economics, and government in his class. The discipline is within, okay, as you notice, within the subject area. Okay, now we go to the interdisciplinary approach or between subject areas. So it connects the interdependent knowledge and skills from more than one subject area to examine a central theme, issue, problem, topic, or experience. Example, Araling Panlipunan teacher integrates reading and writing skills in Filipino. So as you can see, the discipline is between different subject areas, interdisciplinary. Okay, we go to the beyond or the transdisciplinary approach or beyond subject areas. So teachers organize curriculum around students' questions and concerns. Okay, so in this approach, students develop life skills as they apply interdisciplinary and disciplinary skills in a real life context. Okay, so that would be all. Thank you very much for listening.